Hello, everybody. Welcome or welcome back to the Talk Podcast. So I'm sitting here and I was thinking, I'm trying to understand what is going on my channel. What are people interested in? What has been, even though the channel is still quite small, what has been catching the most attention, right? And of course, I always want to find ways to, how to say it, kind of give advice or find something that we can all learn from all the clips or topics that I bring up. But also, of course, I want to entertain you guys. We should also have fun on this channel. And I'm just realizing, unfortunately, the most catching topics are the ones that people, I guess, deal with in real life, which is sometimes really good aspect to learn, but sometimes also a bit unfortunate, tough to talk about, tough to deal with. So I've learned that on my channel, the most catching topics were things about men who lost everything in divorce, or divorced women who became millionaires, or the most expensive divorces. Topics around this, which is definitely devastating because people are, breaking apart, families are breaking apart, one party is losing everything. But also, I guess people are interested in this because they're trying to understand what happened, not only the nosy and relationship gossip, but how does this actually happen? Maybe the laws behind it, trying to understand what they could do perhaps beforehand to protect themselves from situations like this. Or when things like this happen, how do you move on with this? And I don't have too much idea, but I'm also just nosy and here to learn. So let's see. Let's dive a bit more into this topic of divorce.
Here I am being an honest man, right? You want to see what it gets you? This is what it is. She just emptied the bank account! And I just paid American Express. I am mid-divorce myself, on the brink of losing $130,000 to $150,000 on a 6-year marriage, so I know a little bit about divorce. Rule number one, fellas, never share bank account. This is actually saving me right now. Never even hold her money in your account, or put her name on it. Stick around to the end and I'll tell you why. I'm bitter and broken with no options. I have nowhere to turn, and my wife tells me this morning that she wants to go and live in a fucking apartment. After I bought a house, sight unseen, on paper, because she wanted. After I make all these sacrifices and things along the way for nothing, just to be walked away from. I didn't get married for this. Okay, wait a minute. To be honest, I must be honest. I have no idea. I'm sitting here and I thought, okay, what's going on with my content? What are people interested in? I just looked for a random video and I'm a bit shocked because I didn't expect this outburst. And let's just take this clip and try to work with it. This is sad. This is going to be tough. So now let's try and work with this. I need to say this is not to make fun of anyone. I myself have never been divorced, so I do not really have any personal experience or too much of an idea. But yet, I think I can still talk on this topic, right? We already heard someone saying never to share your bank account with your significant other, right? I'm not putting my opinion into this because I do not have any opinion. I do not have any experience on this, but I'm thinking let's try and understand maybe the pros and cons and what people could perhaps try to think ahead before getting married without jumping all these topics and then afterwards being surprised. So for some people this could be the perfect scenario, and for other people this is not going to work. So don't get too hard on me. Just understand that different people are going to make different choices. The benefit of putting your money together could be perhaps it's easier to manage. The savings are easier to manage. The spendings are easier to manage when it comes to, big bills, especially like rent. And some people have mortgage to pay. All these things is definitely going to make it easier because the main part of life is going to be tackled by the two of you, and both parties can take a look and understand what's going on. And also, if you're planning to build, financial wealth together, people like to say generational wealth, it definitely makes sense to put everything in one bucket instead of having split accounts and then somehow trying to bring it back together. But on the other hand, given what we are learning more and more nowadays, relationships are not to be, I guess, unfortunately, are not the most valued in our times. People think you can try, see what's going to happen, and just get a divorce. So, depending on where you stand on this, it could make sense for you to think and say, maybe I do not want to put my
money together because you have different plans of life. Maybe you're not actually trying to take certain responsibilities, build a family, have children, then definitely that wouldn't make sense for you to do that. Also, the question would be why get married in the first place? But as I said, people have different ways of going about life. To be honest, to me, the major thing that I would say people need to put into consideration is actually the value. The values that you both have, okay? What kind of people are you? I tend to see that, and don't get me wrong, I know people can fake their character and then suddenly turn around 180 and be completely different. Okay, I'm definitely aware of that. But I think overall, people go into relationships and marriages with an idea that they cannot uphold long term. Okay, so if you know you're trying to build a life that is content and that is going to be involved with family, that would put big spending and exclusiveness and luxury and trendings and branding stuff, like it's going to fall out because that is not what your goal is in life. Well, if you then find yourself in a relationship with someone who has that kind of goals, to be, I don't want to say superficial, but I'm just going to say superficial, and at some point things come to an end, you will learn that that person is not going to show you care, love, understanding, or whatever kind of value that you're trying to get or see from them. So be very, very mindful on all these things. And it's difficult. It's not the most fun topic. It's not sweet at all. But people need to be having this kind of conversations. People need to be asking themselves, this person that I love and I care for right now, how is it going to be if? How are they characterly? Like, is that even English? I'm not sure, but like, try to dig into the person you're with. Don't just take the glitz and glamour and the luffy duffy for the moment, because people, unfortunately, we change, right?